What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. And you know, one thing's for sure when you see me, is that the Motor City Cats, we back at it. Came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We got some things we're going to get into today. We're going to be kind of finishing up what we started yesterday. I know Easy was here, but today you guys will be my guests. You guys in the audience will be able to chime in and tell me what you think about the prospect breakdowns that was done by my lovely assistant, Mrs. Gemini. Okay. Yesterday it was Monsieur Gemini. Today it is Mrs. Gemini. And we got some other things that we're going to address. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you let everybody know what's going on around here, and how illustrious and wonderful everything is, when the Motor City Cats are back at it. Let me make sure to take my own advice. Let me go ahead and share the stream, because I haven't been doing that lately. I've been, as they say, I've been slacking on my pimping. You know what I mean? I've been slacking on my pimping a little bit. So let me go ahead and share this. 1 second. All right. That's taken care of. That is done. Okay. So let me address something that I recently heard. What up, though, Just a Fan? What up, though, Tactical Sport? What up, though, Salty Pork Chops? Said, is that a picture of me when I was younger? Which picture? What are we talking about? I didn't see a picture. All right. So here's the thing, okay? Saw something a little bit earlier about the whole BPA situation. And the explanation of this move was, if Luther Burden is there at number 28, you draft him. He's a wide receiver. He's really good. He is the best prospect there. So that's who you would go if you are truly going BPA. So my only question, or not even a question, my only concern about this thing, right? So the breakdown of why you would make this selection was really good. I don't have any difficulties or issues with the breakdown of, okay, if you look at the way the roster is constructed, you've got how many guys? 24, 25 guys that you can have on offense, 24, 25 guys that you have on special teams. And you look at the defense being set. The defense is pretty set. The cornerback room is set. The secondary is set. You got all these linebackers. You might need one or two pieces on the defensive line. Well, that's where I kind of look and push back on understanding, yes, the roster is pretty much set. You don't have too many weaknesses. This is a roster that did take you to 15-2 last season, and that's great. However, when you start talking about the defensive line, and there's not many weaknesses, again, we have to remember, you had Hutch get 7.5 sacks in 5.5 games. No one else on the defensive line was anywhere close to getting to the quarterback as many times as Hutch. For the entire rest of the season, for the remaining, 11 and a half games, there was not a single person that got close to getting to the quarterback. And enters Za'Darius Smith. Za'Darius Smith comes in at the trade deadline and is the second leading sack getter on the team from the trade deadline. This is when he came in, right? No, that's Brad Holmes as the Terminator. So he was the second leading sack getter when he came into onto the team. No one else, from the time that Hutch went down to the time that Za'Darius got here to the end of the season, stepped up and offered us any sort of production. I get Drafting a wide receiver at number 28 is not a bad thing, and it will bolster this offense. And I'm going to get to that part in a minute. Bolster this offense. But let me reiterate to you, the quarterbacks that we will see this year, let's start with Lamar Jackson. We already know about Lamar Jackson. We know what he can do. He's the most dynamic, mobile quarterback, maybe even ever. If you want to go back and say, is he better than Vic? I don't know. I would say yes. Vic became more of a passer at the tail end of his career. I think that Lamar Jackson, leading the league in passing last season, has kind of gone there already. And this is what, his 5th year in the league or something like that. He's already got multiple MVPs. He should have won the one last year, but he was robbed. They gave it to Josh Allen based off of narrative. They wanted to give it to Josh Allen for the entire season, but he had better stats. And Josh Allen had a couple more wins or something like this. So we got to see him. We saw Josh Allen last season. We saw Josh Allen when everyone was dead. We didn't have Hutch. We didn't have anybody pretty much. And we lost Aleem that game. Okay? John F. and Laura, what up, though? So we don't have the guy that's going to step up opposite Hutch. I don't want to hear about Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport played 2 games last season. He played game number 1. He missed game number 2. He was injured in game number 3. He got to the quarterback 3 halftimes. Okay, much like Levi Onwuzurike for the entire season, got to the quarterback 3 halftimes. Not 3.5, 3 half. Okay, so then you've got that going on. Hurries and pressures are great. But if you hurry and pressure Lamar Jackson, guess what he's going to do? He's going to take off down the field on you. You got to have a guy on the opposite side of Hutch that is going to allow you to try to corral a Lamar Jackson. Then you've got Jalen Hurts. We know what Jalen Hurts can do as a runner. Okay? We know it's Jalen Hurts and it's Saquon Barkley. Just like with the Ravens, it's Lamar Jackson and it's Derrick Henry. These are the people that we're trying to stop. So we're not just trying to stop the quarterback. We're also trying to stop the running back. The defensive line maybe needing a couple more pieces is the thing that I'm looking at. You definitely need more pieces on the defensive line. Aleem McNeil is going to start the season on the pup. That's just the way that it is. He's not starting the season ready to go. He just isn't. Okay? What did I mentioned that we lost Aleem McNeil in the game against the Buffalo Bills. Which game was that? Okay, I think it was week 15. Okay? If you tear your ACL in week 15, you're not coming back week number 1. You're not going to do it. That's just not how the body heals. Okay? Unless you're a freak like Adrian Peterson, but that's not what Aleem is doing right now. Okay? So then we fast forward to Patrick Mahomes. Is Patrick Mahomes the most dynamic out of those 2 other quarterbacks, or out of the 3, 4 that I've mentioned? Because we have to see not only the mobile quarterbacks, we have to see the top mobile quarterbacks in the league. Right? We not really too worried about Jordan Love. We got to see him twice a year. Caleb Williams, we'll see what he becomes, but he is mobile. He's elusive in the pocket. He just runs around in the pocket too much until he gets sacked. And I'm pretty sure that their new coach over there, Osama bin Johnson, is going to be working with him to keep him from doing that. Okay? So if he's able to successfully work with him and to keep him from doing that, and I said this, and I've been saying this about Caleb Williams. Okay? Remember I told you guys before, right? Before he got drafted. I said I did not watch Caleb Williams in college, not live. But what I did do is I went back. There was someone who put together a tape of all of Caleb Williams' throws and runs at USC. I watched the video. It was about an hour long. Okay? So what I said was Caleb Williams is going to have a problem with hero ball. Hero ball is going to be the thing that is his downfall. If he gets a coach which can coach him out of hero ball, he's going to be pretty good. Okay? Now, the Chicago Bears think that they have that coach, and that's fine. We hope that they're wrong, but they think that they have that coach. Okay, so what if they're right? That means we got to see Caleb Williams twice a year. Okay, so now we've got Lamar Jackson coming in with Derrick Henry. We've got Jalen Hurts coming in with Saquon Barkley. Then we got to see Caleb Williams twice. We got to see Jordan Love twice. Is there anybody else that we have to see? Okay, because the most fear the thing it's Lamar Jackson for me. I'm the most afraid of Lamar Jackson. Okay, Patrick Mahomes. We see what happens when you can get to Patrick Mahomes, but again, get to him, and that's why we're saying no. You don't go offense. You don't go wide receiver at number 28 in this particular draft. Now, if we already had someone on the other side of Hutch, and Aleem McNeil was going to be healthy to start the season, then this conversation is a bit different, because not everyone is clamoring for an edge. Not everyone is clamoring for a defensive tackle. Not everyone is clamoring for defensive line help, because we wouldn't have the weaknesses. We wouldn't have one or two guys that we need. All we would be looking for is depth. That's it. That's all we would be looking for. Okay? But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a bona fide star on the other side of Hutch, because Hutch is already a bona fide star. We're looking to pair a bona fide star with our bona fide star. And that's why we're looking in the draft. Because Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, all these guys, we're just going to cost too much. You know, I'm not a believer in the salary cap, but okay. If we're being practical, we're just going to cost too much. That's fine. Luther Burden being the pick at number 28. And the reason behind this, again, okay, you look at the roster construction, and then you look at giving Jared Goff more weapons, building the offense around him. Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to poo-poo on Jared Goff or anything of this nature. Jared Goff is a timing-based quarterback. If he gets behind the sticks on first and second down, then he's got to rely on being able to hit a receiver either downfield or hitting someone short and they get in the yak to get the first down. Right? So to assume that because you insert Luther Burden into an offense, that the offense is just going to like go to new heights, I don't know about that. Now, if you can guarantee me that when you draft Luther Burden, that our touchdown to turnover ratio, and I mean turnover on downs or having to kick it back to the team or to the opposing team. If you can guarantee me that ratio is gonna be higher, right? So let's say now it's 2-1. If you can say, well, with Luther Burden, it's gonna be 4-1. Sign me up. But when the offense sputters, and it always sputters, it sputters for a litany of reasons. It sputters because you're playing a divisional opponent and they know what you like to do. They have tape on you. It sputters because you're playing a really good defensive coordinator on the other side and he's schemed you to uncomfortableness or uncomfortability. All right. It frizzles out. It's not a well-oiled machine because you turn the football over. Okay? So what happens when the offense doesn't hold up its end of the bargain? The defense needs to hold up its end of the bargain. And you greatly diminish that ability by drafting a wide receiver at number 28. Okay? You greatly diminish the ability of the defense to do what it needs to do to take over for the offense and to cover for the offense when you don't allocate the resources that you can allocate. Right? There's a lot of second round picks and third round picks that they're band-aids. They're not here making lots of impact. Look at Aleem McNeil. Aleem McNeil makes lots of impact, but it's starting to get to that point in his career where you go, is he going to be injured? Because last year he missed 4 games. I think it was an MCL injury. This year he's out for the remainder of the season because he tore his ACL and going to be coming back into next season injured, not ready to perform, physically unable to perform. Is he becoming injury prone? Because the ACL injury wasn't even in the heat of battle. It was he jumped on one leg and landed and tore his ACL. So what are we seeing from this? So that's my question. Like, where is the production from the second and the third round? We got Josh Pascal, who doesn't get to the quarterback. So by saying that Luther Burden, oh, he's a great receiver, he's this, that, and the third thing, but what about the defensive line? Because the hit rate in the second and third round is, I mean, Broderick Martin, for goodness sakes. The hit round the hit rate at second and third round ain't great. It's just not. So while I understand the point and I understand all of that, I would say make the point next year. Okay, you still got whether you're gonna trade JMO or not, and I really hope that they don't. You still got him for 2 years. So if you have to get younger at receiver or whatever the case may be, wait until next year, or wait until later in this draft. Please don't draft Brad Holmes. Please don't draft a wide receiver at number 28. I don't think that the fan base will be able to take it. I really don't. If you draft a wide receiver at 28, a lot of us are going to contemplate quitting. I don't know what the context of quitting means. Going finding another team, just not watching football altogether. I'm not sure. Okay. So before I get to the next point, let me go ahead and get in the chat and see what y'all are talking about. John F. Lord says we want the smoke, gotta have the smoke, singing a song, a little ditty. Josephine says if Lions do wide receiver in first round, that would be nuts. Yes. Telemade Media says the club was 15-2 last season. Are folks scared to death that Jared can't go deep? No, we know that Jared Goff can throw deep. He's shown that. I mean, he threw, I think one of the bombs that he threw to Jameson Williams traveled 50 yards in the air. We know, according to some people, Jared Goff has the strongest arm in the NFL. I don't know what advanced data and metrics that person was using But the eye test doesn't tell me that that's correct. However, can Jared Goff throw it deep? Yes, absolutely. 100%. And very accurately. Um, I heard LB is only 5'10. Luther Burden is only 5'10. I mean, he's a slot receiver. And that's again, why would you draft a slot receiver at number 28 when you already have Amon-Ra St. Brown? I understand. I understand that Tim Patrick is on a 1 year deal. I understand that Khalif Raymond is in the last year of his deal. I understand that Tim Patrick is old and he's only back on a 1 year season. I understand all of that. But I don't understand right now, today, why you should go wide receiver at number 28. Um, Jacoby Williams says, "What's up? What's up, y'all? At work checking in. Appreciate you checking in, Jacoby. Always appreciate that." Um, Tactical Sport 77 says, "As far as quitting on the team, the only way I'll do that at this point is if they draft Jack Sawyer." As I said, I don't know what quitting entails. I've said this before. I was like, if Brad Holmes does such and such, I quit. I'm out. I don't know what that means. Because it does. I'm a Detroiter. You know, good, bad, ugly. You know, our teams. Like, I'm happy for the Tigers right now, though I can't show that I'm happy for it because I hate baseball. So you know what I'm saying. But I'm happy my team is doing well. You know what I'm saying? And I don't begrudge people who support the Detroit Tigers. I'm a Tigers supporter. I let the Tigers win a World Series. Let the Tigers win a World Series. And you know what I'm gonna do? If the Tigers win a World Series, um, I'm gonna do this. Now, let me know. Can y'all still hear me? Because I know sometimes when I switch to the scene, it kind of cuts out. Can you hear me? Let me know. I think you should be able to hear me because I can hear myself. Um, Let me see where it is. I didn't have this queued up because I didn't know I was going to say this. There we go. If the Tigers win a World Series, I'm definitely going to be pounding my chest and saying,
"The champ is here! The champ is here!
I don't know. I can't.
The champ is here! The champ is here!"
Could y'all hear the sound? I don't know what happened. Anyway, that seemed like a fail to me. You let me know if you hear it. 313 Thug Living says 10-7 this year. Goof Clown is in the decline starting this season. I hope you're wrong. I don't want him to be in decline. I want to win a Super Bowl. and I don't care what quarterback it's with, but I want it to be with Jared Goff because he's who's here now. And I want to win it next year. TaylorMade Media says, I thought I saw Goff throw exactly one ball 50 yards. That's it. Didn't he throw 400 passes last season? Well, here's the thing, TaylorMade. Johnny Moe has said the big play is back. Johnny Moe likes to push the ball down the field, and he knows that Jared Goff can do it. He's been in the building with Jared Goff before. He was part of designing this offense. So it's not as though he doesn't know the capabilities of Jared Goff. Okay, so if he comes in and knows that Jared Goff can't throw the football down the field, then for him to say, hey, the big play is back and we're going to push it down the field is asinine, right? Doesn't make any sense. So I believe that he knows that Goff can throw it down the field. Good Tigers win the World Series and Chef will set up an OnlyFans page. I don't think so. Okay, Justin Fan says I heard it clearly. Hadn't heard what Morton said. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, TaylorMade. I'm here to bridge the gap. And I've seen some of your comments, TaylorMade, on some of the videos. I can't reply to something's going on where I click on the comments to see more comments and I get the little dog that says, oops, something went wrong. So I have to figure out what it is. I don't know if I have to sign out and sign back in. But yeah, I haven't been neglecting. I just cannot reply, like physically. All right. Again, guys, if you are interested, and as I said, I will know more by the end of this week. If you are interested in doing the full mock draft with as many people as we can get, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get 32 people. Maybe that'll be next year when I have, thousands of subscribers. But I am going to be developing an app which will hopefully allow us to do that. So just we're going to try to get that done. I'll know more about it next, like by the end of the week. So instead of paying Walk the Mock $5, you could just pay me for development of the app. And yeah, then it'll be something cool that you can use with your friends. And then I might put it on. I'm gonna try to monetize it, I guess, at some point, like sell ads or something. Anyway, so let's get into the other part of this. We had, as I said, our assistant Gemini has helped us with these prospect rundowns. We didn't get to everybody yesterday, so we'll get to a few more today. As if y'all were here yesterday with Easy and me, then you saw how AI got crazy and was messing up drafting Bo Nix this round, this year, and some other people. Darius, what's that dude's name? Was it Darius Robinson, who got picked by the Cardinals last season out of Missouri? So yeah, it was, yeah. Okay. So I think we stopped at Shamar Stewart. So here's what AI has to say about Donovan Ezeraku. No, Michael Williams. Okay, Michael Williams was next. So player profile and scouting summary. Michael Williams is a junior edge rusher from Georgia. He is a two-time second-team All-SEC selection and a former freshman All-American. He battled an ankle injury in 2024, but still tied for the team lead with 2 forced fumbles. Strengths. Williams is a plus athlete with rare pound-for-pound strength. He has exceptional agility and quick feet with nuanced footwork. He flashes good bend and hand activation. He attacks double teams with ferocity and has above average group or gap discipline. He has good speed for his size, clocked in 4.7 seconds in the 40. I mean, the fact that Shamar Stewart ran a 4.59, I know 4.59 is really pretty much like 1 1/10 seconds faster than 4.7, but it just sounds better when you put the 4.5 on it. And the dude is 6'5", 260. Yeah, this sounds really good. All right, his weaknesses. Georgia's defensive scheme limits evaluations, particularly wins to the outside shoulder. His hands are wild and imprecise, and his bull rush can stall out. He needs to lower his pad level for more consistency. His pass rush profile and consistency are lower than ideal for a projected top pick. So here's what I'm kind of realizing about this draft as I go through these prospects. There aren't a lot of can't miss prospects in this draft. It's very deep as far as defensive line help. But there's not a lot of people at the top of the draft that you're going, that guy is ready today. Abdul Carter, you would say, is ready today. Okay? And then the guy that gets mentioned after Abdul Carter is Jalen Walker. And me and Easy talked about him yesterday. You can't say Jalen Walker is ready to go today. Right? He's good with the pass rush, but Jalen Walker is a linebacker. He doesn't cover. He wasn't asked to cover, and he's not great against the run. So is this a guy that you're interested in taking in the top 5? Because we've seen him mocked there. TaylorMade says, I checked out last night's show this morning. AI Gemini hasn't learned what it needs to get through the first round, apparently. Well, yeah. Drafting people that have been drafted already is wild. And then also double drafting people is crazy too. All right. So that was Michael Williams. Let me get back. If I let the screen go off, then I gotta like redo the whole thing for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Now we'll talk about why Michael Williams would fit with the Detroit Lions. Fit with the Detroit Lions, Williams' raw physical tools and athleticism are undeniable, and the Lions have shown a willingness to bet on upside. His strength and agility could translate well to the NFL. However, his need for technical refinement and the impact of his ankle injury in 2024 introduced some uncertainty. He could be a high-ceiling prospect for the Lions if their coaching staff can help him develop his pass rushing technique. Right? I believe that the coaching staff is one of the best coaching staffs out there. So I wouldn't have any problems with our coaching staff developing someone. All right, Jessa fam, we'll see you later. Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out if you haven't already. All right, Mike Green. Who? Mike Green. Who is MikeGreen.com? If you know, you know. Use the hashtag. All right. Player profile and scouting summary. Mike Green is a redshirt junior edge rusher from Marshall. He earned second-team AP All-American honors and was named Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year after leading the FBS with 17 sacks in 2024. I was about to say 117. That would have been crazy. All right. Strengths. Green has serious juice as a pass rusher with the ability to bend, capture the corner, and finish at the quarterback. He has a high motor and a nice toolbox of pass rush moves. His play speed off the edge is real, and his bull rush is impressive. He was a standout at the Senior Bowl. He also has a strong run defense grade from PFF. Now, earlier today, while I was watching the heavies, I did see the trade-up possibilities being Atlanta because Atlanta only has 5 picks, and also Minnesota because Minnesota only has 4 picks. And we know that Brad Holmes has done business with Minnesota before. Here's the thing that I would say. If you're trading up to 15, you're grabbing Mike Green. Because I've seen him mocked to the Falcons a lot. I've seen him mocked at that 15 spot a lot. So if you're trading with the Falcons must be really, I don't want to say desperate, because they just need to compile draft picks. And obviously you're going to be able to get someone at 28 for the edge position. But if you are Brad Holmes and you're trading up to 15, I hope you're going to get Mike Green. Okay? Because the strengths are the strengths. He's a dynamic, dominant pass rusher, and he's good against the run. Okay? Whatever the weaknesses are, we can coach those out of him, and we can get to it. So let's look at the weaknesses now. Weaknesses or cons. Green might not have the length, arm length not specified in snippets that the Lions typically prefer on the edge. Some might be concerned about his size, 6'3", 251. He transferred from Virginia, and there were allegations he addressed at the combine. Do y'all know what those allegations were? I'm just saying. Let's see. Y'all know what the allegations were before I click on it and look and try to find out what they were? Okay. Essay allegations, clearly. And I thought that's what that was going to be. Because whenever you say there are allegations, you know what it is. All right. 6'3", 251. Now, if you're not aware, Mel Kiper released his mock draft earlier, and he mocked Donovan Ezeraku to the Detroit Lions. Donovan Ezeraku is 6'2". If Mike Green is 6'3", right? And apparently Donovan Ezeraku is a person that they are high on. They're really high on Donovan Ezeraku. They're high on Josiah Stewart, who's 6'1". He probably would play the Sam role instead of, traditional edge rusher. This is crazy to say this. I'm talking about a dude that's 6'3", and I'm not nearly 6'3", right? They've shown a willingness to have interest in these smaller guys, quote unquote smaller. I don't think Mike Green at 6'3", 251 is out of their wheelhouse. Especially because Mike Green on the other side of Hutch would be illegal. It wouldn't be fair to anybody other than the Detroit Lions. He says, no, but I know how they get down at UVA. I'm sure you do. Because you are in the DMV. Am I correct? All right. Let me get back to this. But Mike Green, as I said, if you're trading up to 15, if you're trading up to the range where he would be selected, that's where I want you to trade up to. Because, again, Mike Green and Hutch, both of them fully healthy through the entire season. It's a sack party at the quarterback. Pause. It's a sack party at the quarterback. Pause. All right. Now, his fit with the Detroit Lions, Green's exceptional sack production and pass rushing skills will be a welcome addition in the Lions' defense. His high motor and variety of pass rush moves suggests he could be an immediate contributor. While his lack of ideal length might be a minor concern for the Lions, his proven ability to get to the quarterback could outweigh this. His performance at the Senior Bowl against higher competition indicates his skills can translate. So, yes, we saw him at the Senior Bowl. He ripped it up down there. So, and then went home early. So, I'm saying if you're trading up to 15 and he's still sitting there, I say you grab him over anybody else. All right. Now we're going to get into the defensive tackles. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon. Player profile and scouting summary. Derek Harmon is a redshirt junior defensive tackle from Oregon. He had a breakout season in 2024, earning All-American and All-Big Ten recognition. He generated 55 pressures and 5 sacks in 2024. All right. What are his strengths or pros? Harmon is a stout, powerful interior defender with long arms and heavy hands. Old men hit hard, let's say. He excels at locking out blockers and maintaining gap integrity. Excuse me. He is versatile enough to line up at multiple spots and thrive in both odd and even fronts. He has strong rip and arm over moves to generate interior pressure. He has excellent lateral mobility and quickness to shed blocks. His explosiveness off the ball and ability to link his upper and lower body are noticeable. He was a high school. Sorry. For some reason, my brain said he was a high school IQ champion. He has a high football IQ and consistent competitiveness. All right. No, lived in DC for 8 years, though. Been in and around New York City for 30 years. Okay. Got it. His weaknesses or cons. Harmon is still refining his pass rush plan and can get stuck on blocks. He tends to pop up too high out of his stance at times, losing leverage. He will occasionally lose gap discipline when over pursuing. His pass rush aggression can be inconsistent. Okay, so he's got, it sounds like motor issues. And obviously he's a bigger dude. So standing up straight, not lowering your pad level, these are all things that can be coached out of a player. So I'm not too worried about that. All right. Guys in the chat, feel free to chime in. Let me know what you think of these breakdowns provided by Miss Gemini. And also, what do you think of these prospects on your own accord? All right. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan. Player profile and scouting summary. Kenneth Grant is a defensive tackle for Michigan. He possesses a rare combination of quickness and size for the nose tackle position. His strengths are that Grant has elite burst and power, drawing comparisons to Dexter Lawrence. His 89.5 pass rush grade over the past 2 seasons leads all defensive tackles in the class. He has the strength. To dominate single blocks and hold up against doubles. He brings a level of size and burst unmatched by other interior defenders in the group. Now his weaknesses. His aggressive mindset isn't always consistent. Again, sounds like motor issues. That is his only weakness. Are you following me? His aggressive mindset isn't always consistent. If Kenneth Grant is the pick at number 28, do you celebrate? That's my question to you, chat. Not sure I want SA allegations floating around the team. If he was cleared, then okay. The SA allegations are a double-edged sword. I will say that. Just look at the Matt Araiza situation. You know, when they reported it in the news, it was so damning for Matt Araiza. Then it turns out that Matt wasn't even in the house and that situation didn't take place. So, I don't know. If the police get involved, that's a different situation, different story. So, not sure. All right. Fit with the Detroit Lions, Grant's size and power would provide a formidable presence in the interior of the Lions' defensive line. His ability to rush the passer from the defensive tackle position is particularly valuable. While more consistency in his aggressive approach would be beneficial, his physical tools and potential for dominance make him a compelling option for the Lions. Remember, his weaknesses are his aggressive mindset isn't always consistent. That's his weakness. There was one weakness that they wrote down, and it was that his aggressive mindset isn't always consistent. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Tactical Sports says, if Kenneth Grant is the pick, then I'm hoping that they pick up Zadarius Smith. Don't think that Grant can run the edge. That's true. But here's where I would say, just to make a case for Kenneth Grant, not to say that I would rather have Kenneth Grant than a Mike Green or a Shamar Stewart or any of the edges. the question that, or not the question, but the point that I would raise is, as we were talking about earlier, oh, well, you draft a wide receiver in this year's draft in the first round because Brad Holmes said J-Mo's going to be expensive. All right, well, they picked up J-Mo's fifth-year option, or they're going to pick it up. So that means he's under contract for 2 more years in Detroit. So Za'Darius Smith is not. Okay? So because not Za'Darius Smith, DJ Reader. Okay? DJ Reader is a person that is going to either need to be re-upped or replaced. Right? So DJ Reader and his replacement is a much more pressing situation than trying to trade J-Mo somewhere else. Okay? If you're trading J-Mo, the fan base is going to be upset. I'm going to be upset. It's a business move or whatever. But you want to trade him to a team that ain't going to face you this year. Because you don't want to piss off J-Mo. I'm sorry. But yeah, I would. I'm not saying excuse me. I'm not saying I'm convincing myself to take Kenneth Grant, but I wouldn't be mad at the pick. I'll just say that. All right. The next prospect is all right. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Mississippi. Player profile and scouting summary. Walter Nolan is a junior defensive tackle from Mississippi. He transferred from Texas A&M. He earned consensus first team All-American honors in 2024. And we're going to talk about Texas A&M in a second because there's been a lot of stuff going on surrounding Texas A&M. His strengths are Nolan is a tall, lanky, and physical defender with room to address. With room to add mass. He plays with violent hands and is a fluid but sudden athlete with excellent burst. He covers ground laterally, quickly, and uses his powerful upper body to control blocks. He has a... What does that say? He has a flexible bend He has a flexible, bendy frame with rare contact balance and body obtained and body control. He is a dominant run defender. Boy. Weakness. Nolan plays with a high pad level and his base narrows at contact, limiting his power. His shorter arms impact his disengagement ability. His hand usage lacks purpose as a pass rusher, relying more on athleticism. He struggles with play recognition and can gas out by the fourth quarter. All right. Yeah, if the pick is a wide receiver, then we riot. I'm down. TaylorMade says Jameson Williams aside, the Lions are light at wide receiver. That's clear to me. I would say Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would say they're light at receiver with just those two. So let me see. Yeah, we may be light, but we are lighter at edge. We can't go into the season relying on Davenport. I don't care what Brad believes. You are correct, my friend. Tactical Spork, you speak the truth. 100%. All right, what is Walter Nolan's fit with the Detroit Lions? Let's see. Walter Nolan. I just made a song, y'all. Pick it up on iTunes. All right, his fit with the Detroit Lions. Nolan's exceptional athleticism and raw power are intriguing, and his ability as a dominant run defender aligns with the Lions' existing strengths. However, his technical deficiencies and potential for inconsistency might make him a riskier pick for a team looking for immediate polished production. If the Lions are willing to invest in the development or in his development, his high ceiling could be worth the gamble. I believe every team, well, I can't say every team, that's a lie. Most teams that are trying to win, are interested in the development of a rookie player. This is why we were, you need a G League in the NFL to get your development. That's what the UFL is supposed to be, but you're not really seeing anybody, like you're not seeing Cam Ward leave Alabama to be number 19 or whatever, and then just kind of sitting there going through the motions. All right, Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle, Oh Hell No State University. Okay, player profile and scouting summary. Tyleik Williams is a defensive tackle from Oh Hell No State. He is a compact and powerful interior defensive lineman. Strengths. Williams excels at holding the line of scrimmage and is a disruptive prospect with great power at the point of attack. He is a great run defender and has the potential to be an impact pocket pusher. So he's not yet an impact pocket pusher. Okay? I guess just like Shamar Stewart isn't a guy that has a whole lot of camp, but we believe that he will be great. Don't know about Tyleik. All right. So he's not yet a dynamic pocket pusher or impact. So his weaknesses. His pass rush production is tackling, meeting nose. What does it say? Weaknesses. His pass rush production is lacking, making nose tackle his best projection. Okay, so this isn't Tyleik is not a guy that you're gonna get if you want to get somebody to get after the quarterback. He would fill more so the DJ Reader role. Have I ever grilled a moose? No, I have not. I have never eaten moose at all. Fit with the Detroit Lions. Williams' strength as a run defender would be valuable for the Lions. His ability to hold the point of attack could complement the more penetrative styles of other interior linemen. However, it's however, his limited rushing upside might not fully align with the Lions' emphasis on attacking the quarterback, potentially making him a better fit as a rotational run stopping specialist. Okay. All right. I can dig that. Now it says recommended fits for the Detroit Lions. First round, Mason Graham, Derek Harmon, Mike Green. Okay. Obviously Mason Graham is not falling to us. And again, this is AI, so this is going to get even crazier. Second round, Shamar Stewart, Michael Williams. I don't think either one of them makes it to the second round, but again, you have to see. All right. It says these recommendations consider the Lions' need for both interior and edge talent, their preference for players who can attack the quarterback, and the potential for immediate and future contributions. Prospects to avoid for the Detroit Lions. Okay, this is interesting. While all the mentioned prospects possess talent, some might not be ideal fits for the Detroit Lions based on their specific needs and scheme. Jalen Walker, who I was not in love with. Okay? I've never had an Oryx. I've seen an Oryx because I used to live in Qatar, so I've seen plenty of them. Jalen Walker. His lack of size and experience as a dedicated edge rusher, coupled with the Lions' emphasis on strong run defense from shoot. All right, I'm gonna get it together. Okay, I get up early, y'all. Long days. All right. His lack of size and experience as a dedicated edge rusher, coupled with the Lions' emphasis on strong run defense from their defensive ends, might make him a less optimal fit compared to other edge prospects. Okay. Told y'all I wasn't in love with Jalen Walker. Yesterday, Easy said the same thing. Walter Nolan. While his potential is high, his technical inconsistencies and reliance on raw athleticism might not align with the Lions' desire for more polished players, especially if they are looking for immediate contributors. I guess if you're sitting there at 28 and you make the pick, you're looking for an immediate contributor. I mean, they got an immediate contributor at 24, and Terrion Arnold, who they traded up for, so possibly. Ooh, I love this one. Y'all, because y'all know I hate Ohio State. Okay, Tyleik Williams. His limited pass rushing upside might not fully address the Lions' need for interior pressure, making him a better fit for teams prioritizing a pure run-stopping nose tackle. According to AI, Tyleik is not the pick, nor is Jalen Walker, nor is Walter Nolan. These assessments are based on potential mismatches in skill sets and the Lions' likely priorities in the draft. What do y'all think about Gemini? What did y'all think? Just let me know, because it was a breakdown. I think the prospect breakdowns were really good. I don't the drafts, like I can go over like the last version of mock drafts, right? I'll go over those with you just so y'all can see them. Okay. Like in this one, Detroit picks Michael Williams in the first round. At pick 28, and then in the second round, they pick Christian Mahogany. Okay. As if we didn't already have him on the team. And then in the third round, they pick Maxwell Harrison, who we know has been mocked in the first round to the Minnesota Vikings. So don't think it's there. In the second version, The Detroit Lions picked Walter Nolan. Right? They picked Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss after it just said that we shouldn't pick him. And then round 2, the Detroit Lions get James Pierce at number 60, which is impossible. I know all of that, and he's supposed to fall, and he ain't falling to 60. It's just not happening. Unless the league collectively gets together and they're like, this dude is arrogant and we're gonna humble him. Unless the league colludes and says, nobody take James Pierce until the end of the second round. That's the only way that I can see that guy slips all the way out of the first round and then all the way to the way bottom of the second round. Let's see. The Lions choose in this third mock draft. The Lions choose Donovan Ezeraku, edge out of Boston College. And the interesting thing here is it says round 1 selections picks 1 through 27 are the same as mock draft 1. So everything changed, everything stayed the same except for who the Detroit Lions picked. So the Detroit Lions selected Donovan Ezeraku, edge out of Boston College. In round 2, selections 33 to 59 are the same as mock draft 1. And the Detroit Lions pick Tyler Booker, offensive guard out of Alabama, who's not going to be there, right? He's not going to be there. And then in round 3, they choose Deion Walker, defensive tackle, Kentucky. That's actually something that could happen. Deion Walker in the third round. But yeah, so yeah, that was it. That was it for that. Tactical Sports says, yeah, Walker just isn't that high on my list. If they add Jack Sawyer to the list of stay away from, then it would be a perfect list. Jack Sawyer wasn't even mentioned. When I asked Gemini to look for and I didn't even say the top targets. I just said targets. I should have been more specific. I should have had it do a more wide ranging. I thought that it would. And that's probably why you saw it selecting people like freaking James Pierce at pick number 60, because it didn't do a deep dive in anybody who was out of the top 15 picks when you're talking about defensive line prospects. But yeah, it should have done more. But Jack Sawyer wasn't mentioned at all, not in the least bit. Taylor Made says, if you use Chat GPT, all it does is pull up articles and cite the source. If AI Gemini is doing something else, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's mocking, same as everybody else. Well, no. So Gemini, just like Chat GPT, it has different versions, different models. But with the model that I used was the deep research model, where let me see how many sites. Because I think one of the things that I did, one of the versions, it went through 72 sites. So for this one, it researched 81 websites. Yeah, 81 of them. And it shows all of it did Yardbarker, it did Lions NFL draft from CBS, it did Tim 20men's mock drafts, DetroitLions.com, Detroit Lions on Sports Illustrated. What did it do? NFL.com. CJ West. I don't even know who that is. Like it found stuff that I don't even like. Lastwordonsports.com. I don't know who that is. It did Reddit. It did Fox, Big Board. It did that. The Saints website, NewOrleansSaints.com. Yeah, so it pulled from probably damn near everything that you could pull from. If you're talking about the draft and the Detroit Lions draft and all the prospects and things of that nature, it just did not talk too much about the prospects outside of the top prospects. All right. So I am going to go ahead and get back to work, peeps. As you see, as I said, it's going to be a long day and I got to get back into it. So appreciate y'all once again. Like I said, keep a lookout. If the app goes the way that I want it to go, then I definitely will kind of demo it. I don't know if I'll be able to demo it on Friday, if it'll be ready by then. Maybe, because I won't be here on Thursday. So we'll see what happens. ChatGPT doesn't have history from the last 2 or 3 years. It wouldn't be a good thing for that. It would be able to pull articles. That's about it. Yeah, ChatGPT. I expected Google to make a splash. That's why when they came out with Bard and it was terrible, I was like, what is Google doing? Google is the tech capital of Earth. But yeah, I expected them to come in and do something better. And Gemini has been absolutely that. I think the next thing with Gemini is to just consistently be able to handle images like it's supposed to, much like Grok. You can give it an image and tell it what to do to the image and it will edit it. Gemini is supposed to do that, but right now it's kind of telling you, I'm a large language model and I'm not equipped for editing photos, and it can make them, but editing them, it's not really getting the full blow. But anyway, peeps, like I said, be on the lookout for that app. I will be developing it, and hopefully I'll have something to demo for you guys. And hopefully it works the way that I need it to work. I'm working on another app right now for my current job / business. So yeah, once I'm finished with that, then I'll start getting the other thing done. I'm definitely vibe coding. So if y'all know what vibe coding is, look it up. It's gonna be a web app. So yeah, once I deploy it and everything, it'll be available for you to just go and download or so since it'll be a web app, it's what do you call it? OS agnostic. It doesn't matter if it's iOS or Android. So yeah. But that's what it'll be. But anyway, once again, guys, appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate you for hanging out, stopping by, for drinking a conversation. Go follow my media company. Is 84 Media. No, for me it would be number 1 Media, right? Because that was my number. But anyway, once again, Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. What language was it built on? It is built on, I believe we're using React right now. But with vibe coding, bro, you got to get into vibe coding. This is the last thing I'll share before I just did a website for someone. And it took me quite some time because I was kind of doing it between working and being at home, and I'm not at home often. So, bro, if I vibe coded that website, it would have taken me an hour to complete the entire website. So definitely, yeah, y'all need to get into vibe coding. I know, tactical sport, you do computer science, so just understanding the code that you already know, and if you want to go through and debug, you can. But vibe coding is, bruh, it saves so much time, so much time. Yes, yes, tactical. I know that. You can tell it to use whatever language you want it to. If you want it to just be Python specific, if you want it to be React specific, um, if you just want it to be HTML and just, for the bare bones or whatever, and you don't want to use any sort of coding language, um, that's fine. You can tell it to do whatever you want it to do. It's the same as it's the same as Gemini and all of these other AIs, but it is specifically for coding. And all you have to do is have patience, because you just talk to it, like it'll mess up and all these things, but it definitely will fix some things. I've hit a snag on one of my apps right now because it's not understanding that there's supposed to be a bookings tab, and it hasn't created the bookings tab, or it's just not understanding that the what would you call it? The interface, like the dashboard interface, does not have anything for the bookings tab to be there. So once we get past that, then it'll be good to go. Um, Actually, tactical. I'll send it to you on. I'll send it to you on Discord, because it'll be a referral link, and I'll get $10 in credits. So I'll send that to you on Discord, um, as soon as I get to it. All right. So be on the lookout. I will send it, and you will have it, and you can take it, and hopefully you register for it. If you do, you can do a free trial. The free trial gives you like 20 credits, and I completely did the client side app with the free credits, and then I still had like six or seven free credits left. And then when I went to the driver side app, then I had to register, because we got some of it done, but not enough of it. So yes, I will definitely do that. All right. Once again, Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out of here. Peace.